As an aspiring archaeologist growing up in New Albany, David West Reynolds always dreamed of making it to the Smithsonian. He never imagined it would be dressed as Boba Fett.
Professionally, it wasn't quite where I might have designed.
It was this lightsaber design at Scribner Junior High School that started Reynolds' remarkable journey. The young Star Wars fan loved to imagine the technology behind the fantasy. So years later, when he earned his doctorate in classical archaeology, Reynolds decided his first dig would search for the real-life relics millions had only seen on screen.
As an archaeologist who'd been trained to find things in the desert, I thought maybe I could find planet Tatooine.
What a desolate place this is.
Turned out Tatooine was actually Tunisia, the place where George Lucas shot the scenes for the famous home of Luke Skywalker. Reynolds studied landscapes in the movie, compared them to maps, and then went in search of old movie props Lucas and his crew left behind in the sand. He came away with artifacts diehard fans could only dream of, like this piece of the cantina door R2-D2 and C-3PO hid behind, and a part of those sand creature bones C-3PO stumbled by in the desert.
This is all his fault.
West wrote an article about his expedition for a fan magazine, and it caught the eye of George Lucas and his team. So when it was time to return to Tunisia to film the second series of Star Wars movies, Lucas's top producer knew exactly who to call.
And he suddenly found out that there was an archaeologist who knew where all of these lost filming locations were, and I was the only person in the world who knew at that time. So he called me up, hired me as a location scout, and off we went to North Africa.
It led to a full-time job with Lucasfilm at Skywalker Ranch in California, where Reynolds would work as a marketing and creative consultant for the next 9 years, advising on 2 films, The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, and writing a series of Star Wars reference books, all of which were bestsellers. Reynolds used science to explain how all those cool Star Wars gadgets would work if they were real.
But we did work really hard to try to make all of the systems that we created consistent and believable within the rules that applied in that world.
Now he's been asked by the New Albany Library to create an exhibit from his time at Skywalker Ranch in advance of the new movie, The Force Awakens. The display includes his favorite mementos, like parts of the models used to create some of the film's most famous scenes.
And this is a tower gun. And that's the tower there.
Okay. There are also a number of old photos, including the one of his unconventional Smithsonian debut. That moment actually came during a special event with the Skywalker team. As for what his one-of-a-kind collection is worth, Reynolds says he doesn't care.
I didn't go to North Africa and get lost in the Sahara for money. I did that because the film meant something to me, and the experience meant something to me.
A force that drives him and Star Wars fans worldwide. Eric Flack, Wave 3 News.